Welcome to this new format of alchemy. This is really something we start today. I'm a teacher of the Damanhorn Alchemy School, and it's around 20 years that I study alchemy, and today we start this adventure together. We are on Zoom and on YouTube, and I welcome everybody from different channels who is listening to us. So, what is the essence? What is this alchemy? Each time we meet, each Thursday, we will talk about a special topic. We will learn techniques. We will learn how to use this knowledge in our everyday life. So, first of all, I want to give you an introduction to understand what kind of alchemy we will explore together today and in the next meetings. So, what we are studying and what we will go in the depth with in this context is alchemy of vital forces. This term shows us, indicates the more sacred alchemy, the alchemy which is the whole energy of the human being. This kind of alchemy was taught and studied and researched in all the human eras and times and ages. And for many years and hundreds of years, just few people had access to this. Priests, esoteric groups, initiate schools, and so on. Because as it is knowledge that is so powerful, then it was dedicated only to few people. Today, that we're at the beginning of the new age, this knowledge can be open to everybody. Everybody can have access to this because our species is ready to do new evolution jumps to live this golden age that is coming with awareness. And so many civilizations of the past did dedicate to this, that look for this age, golden age, where the human species would have done a huge evolution step. So many of you might know it. We are living Kali Yugas, and then moments of divine presence. And the past age, which was quite a age of the Pisces, was a quite heavy time, an era, age that did throw down the human being. Meanwhile, now we are in the age of Aquarius, the new age, a new time, the time dedicated to the light. Now, here we have the possibility to do huge steps with our spirit. And these steps are to generate a new world that has a human measure, is more available for the human being. And as we are people that live between these two eons, these two huge moments, so we have to ship from the old to the new. We have to pass from the old to the new and learn how to live and enter in contact and in harmony with these new energies that are vibrating on our planet. If you look around, it's years already that we have a lot of chaos around us, where they do whatever wars, injustice, and so on. And one might say, is that the new age? This is the last hit of the tail of the old system, which starts to melt and to end. And so there's an incredible chaos. But if you are aware of what happens in the world and look around, there are always more groups in the world that need to create something marvelous and do something marvelous out of this world. And this is also an alchemy. It's the finality of alchemy to take the human being and bring it on a higher level. And this is what we will do in these meetings. We will learn about the potential of the human being. We will learn about the true essence of each one of us. And the essence of each one of us, our divine spark, the central point that gives us life and light and hope and the possibility and the power to manifest the world that we wish. And today we will talk about this. We will immediately start with marvelous things. The thought creates. You might have heard this in many points and many things, but now we need to understand how true this is and how to use it, right? So, first of all, in the classical esoterism, so in the classical alchemy, when you talk about thought, the in Italian pensiero, it's siero is the liquid of the pen, it would be the penis, so pensiero is the thought is something that we don't have yet as race. The place, the point in which we are right now, we're not able to create thought, not yet, but we're able to work it out. We work out thought. So you can imagine thought like the stream that we breathe in, that we make transit through us, and that we work out. We transform it, we generate also different things out of it to then make it flow. So we can say the point of evolution our race is in right now, we're not thinking, but we're incorporating because the thought is dedicated to the divinities. So through the power of thought, divinities are creating and generating. So why do we need to talk about thought as we're a human being and we're not yet able to use it and generate this thought? Because we have this divine spark, this center in each one of us, and the possibility to come to generate thought. So we need to tend towards this. And once we have this awareness and this connection with our central part, I am, the I with a huge I, the me with a huge M. So when this human part and the divine part are meeting and become one, then we're in the moment where we can use these inner senses. So, using thought in agreement with our divine part. So, at that point, we can generate the world that we wish. And here we need to understand the two polarities of the human being. The human being with a huge H. So, the mortal part and the immortal part. we are created. So we have a mortal part and an eternal part. We are created of these two aspects. The mortal part, we all know it. So here we have Ranyo in this moment, which is that part that lives, is born, does experiences, and then at a certain point in 50 years or whenever will die and disappear. But my divine part, my spiritual part, we can give it many different words, names, but the aspect is this, we talk about the eternal part because it's not connected to matter. It doesn't live in the entropy. It's not destroyed. So everything that you have around you will exist now, but in 1,000 or a million years, it will not exist any longer. So this is the mortal part. The mortal part is also important and fundamental, but it generates most of all the ego. So I am this presumptuous part, this part that identifies and divides from the whole to generate unicity. And the evolution, in the evolution process, it's an important step. The animals, for example, when they go go away from the tribe and become individual essences, they do their evolution step. So there they rise to a higher evolution level. And this happens in many cases. And cats and dogs are closer to this because they recognize themselves in a name and feelings. They are, they do their choices. They love a certain food and other foods not. They love more one person than the other. That is ego, important and fundamental. The one that lives, that has a name, Ranyo in this moment, that does this experience, which in this moment shares these alchemy pills, there is this is this part. If now we talk about the huge avatars, we can simply in Italy, we've clear the figure of Jesus. Jesus was the man, but the Christ was its divine part, his divine part, their divine part. So the human part did its experience, that it was sublimated and was able to come to a level of pureness and connection with their divine part, which became a pure channel and an expression of the inner God. And so this is something each one of us needs to do. Each one of us needs to become a bridge between earth and sky and earth, because each of one has this potential. And as Christ did, and Siddhartha with the Buddha, and Rama, and hundreds of avatars, these huge souls that did come into this world to elevate the human race to higher levels and share knowledge and teachings. So this is also our work to do. Each one of us, for each one of us, our work to do is to educate our ego to become that part that serves our higher divine part. So Jesus did educate himself to be the bridge and the magician in the matter. The same thing with Siddhartha. It became a Buddha He became the Buddha the moment he opened and allowed to make the energy flow through him. And it's that the human part has needs. So there's always the need to eat, to procreate, to bring things inside of themselves. The divine part is the opposite. It doesn't need, has needs. It's like it's sun and evaporates. It brings light, energy, life, knowledge. And here we talk about the two types of alchemy that are more known. They're called the alchemy, the alchemy of, so 90% who who follows alchemy needs to follow this. So knowing yourself, and so all the passage from the believing, refining, coming from the black to the white, coming to the albedo, coming to the ashes. So this is the whole transformation of an already refined matter till you come to the rubedo, which is the red, the fire, the blood, renewed energy, spiritual. So this is the passage that everyone, the major part of the people, need to do to move towards evolution. And this, the alchemy, the most diffused alchemy. And then there's an alchemy for few ones, not because it's reserved, but just because few are able to live it completely, which is the superior alchemy, the higher alchemy. So we had the lower, and then we have the higher alchemy. And this moves not away from the ego, but it moves directly to our divine essence. And from there, it manifests what it wants. Because there it doesn't need, it has no needs. It has all the knowledge, all the energy, and all the power of the divinity to apply it. So today, we approach to these knowledges to touch from the very beginning this divine part. And now, in some minutes, we will do this experience together, a small meditation that allows us to enter in communion. So, bringing in union, tuning the divine and the human part. It's the fire, the attention that lights everything. And with this new format of the alchemistic essence, I want to start from the center of ourselves, from the most important part of ourselves, the sun, our sun. It lights our sun. So to do so, this will be very simple. I will give you some steps to do that we will follow together and that you can also use every day. So that will to give your personal direction to your life and every day uh, beat, the heartbeat of your life. It's not that it changes your life, it transmutates it because you touch the center of yourself. And this is what I want to teach you to do. Simply, and you know why it's simple? Because our divine part is the matrix. It's there and ready to meet the human part. Just that we're always distracted by the work, by the feelings, by our everyday life and whatever. And we don't move our attention to the most important part of us, the center, where we have our mission, the mission of our soul, our alpha and our omega. Everything starts and ends there. So from a circle, from the outside part of the circle, we need to come back to the center of it. And to do so, this is very simple. You need to go in a simple meditation and move our spiritual eye to look inside and not outside, because we're used to use our eyes to look and judge the world around us, beautiful, nice, and so on. But now we need to open our third eye to see what we are really are, our most beautiful and profound nature. And to do so, we will do a simple meditation together, starting with a slow and deep breathing. Also, here, the breathing, and we will talk about this in other occasions, is to bring energy inside of us and activate the inner senses. Awareness, the awareness which at this moment can connect to a pure container of energy. So let's start to do a slow and deep breathing. While we breathe in through our nose, holding our breath a moment, and then we breathe out through our mouth again. This cycle breathing allows us to center and to bring the intention inside of us, recall prana, vital prana towards our body, towards us, which is this universal energy that will step by step activate higher levels of consciousness. Remember that you sit with your legs slightly open, your arms not crossed over but on your sides or on a chair, or in a way that your back, your spine is straight and right, so that the energy can flow freely through our body. Breath after breath, we feel the air that enters inside of us, enters our body, fills our lungs, and exits through our mouth. Breath after breath, we hear the voice, my voice, we feel the weight of our body, where we touch the chair or wherever we are sitting, the weight of our body, the points where we touch our clothes, and all this helps us to bring our attention towards the point in the center of us. If we wish so, we can close our eyes so that our full attention is in our center and nourished through this vital energy that, that and make it grow, shining like a shining, huge, bright fire that enlightens our whole body. And breath after breath, this energy fills also our vital aura and nourishes it like a small ball. We make our energy sphere grow step by step so that it becomes like a small sun, a sun that lights the whole room we're in. Breath after breath, our energy starts to color all the landscape around us. Also, the trees, the people, the animals, palaces, the roads, and so on, everything that is around us. So let's open this infinite energy inside of us that is there like a source that nourishes and fills up our whole body and everything around us. And step by step, we're coloring through our presence, breath after breath. We color our whole world, all the mountains, the seas, the flatlands, hills. Everything vibrates on our frequency. And now we emerge step by step. We emerge into the earth, passing through a volcano. So we're on top of a volcano and follow the streams of lava that bring us deep inside, breath after breath. This energy, this lava brings us more down, deeper downwards towards the center of the earth in the essence of our planet. Breath after breath, this energy, this warmth, this power brings us deeper and deeper inside. And when we feel that we're in the center, that point where everything moves constantly and it's bubbling and there's infinite energy, here we find a still more shining bright point, a still more marvelous point. And our attention, our presence laps over and lays over that point like a small sun meeting a huge sun, a huge energy that fuses everything together. Breath after breath, we find ourselves in this moment in communion. We find the union between our human and our divine part. We are completely united. We are in the point where all the questions find their answers, and all the answers find all the questions. We're in the place, non place, where we really could say we're home. And each one in this moment could see it in the proper way, like a castle, a green grass, or a beach in the Caribbean, or the proper house where you already live in that you knows. Who knows? Each one lives this sensation of home, union. Finally, I came back to the source of myself, at my place. I'm exactly in the place, the perfect place in this moment of my existence. And from here on, I can observe and manifest and understand whatever I wish. Because here, my thought creates. Here, I feel to be a channel between the spiritual divine part and the human part, aware and directed in service. And I allow this energy to float through the world all around me so that it takes my frequency, the divine frequency, to make this light and every aspect on this planet grow and evolve because we want to divinize ourselves and the matter all around us. That is the goal of our race. So, breath after breath after breath, once we know this point, we know that we're welcome here. We know that we can come back in whatever moment to that point. The morning when we wake up, the evening before we go to sleep, we can go there and give a tone to our day and to our dreams. Ah, feel this sensation of completeness, full, whole, one. And now, with a sense of gratitude, we say thank you. Thank you to ourselves for this opportunity. We say thank you to that divine part. We're thankful, this part that inspired us and that is here to give life to us. Breath after breath, with this sense of gratitude, we allow ourselves again to transform and be transported by these lover streams from out of the center of the earth with a marvelous energy, an incredible energy. They bring us back up to the surface, exiting out of the volcano. This is our incredible energy, this energy of light, pure energy, breath after breath. Here, the whole world is shining through this new presence that we have, presence of ourselves. Breath after breath, we follow again the place where, back in the place where we live, the country, the land, we pass through them, the places we know. We feel the house around us, or the place where we are, the room, or the place where our body is. Breath after breath, we feel the air that enters our lungs and exits through our mouth. Breath after breath, here the energy floats. It floats through us. We're again here and now. And if you wish, we can open our eyes again and finding ourselves again with this awareness, with this feeling that allows us that that allowed us to find the path, the point, the start point to manifest ourselves. In whatever moment you could come back to unite with your divine part, ask them questions, find solutions, find comfort, find energy, energy to manifest your dreams and your wishes. There, everything is born. From there, we can generate the world we love. This is the superior, the higher alchemy. This is the possibility to be our divine part and express it. And this was the first step, the first alchemistic essence that we shared on this channel in this day as an opening for this experience. So I want to say thank you to you for who was here with us. I thank to all the people that listen to me, that will listen to me, and I will. experiment, maybe in 100 years, these things, whenever the right moment will be. So there, this connection for you will start. So I wish good life to all of you. With you, we will meet back again in 2 weeks for another other appointment where we will talk now about another alchemistic essence. Each time we will exit with we will have a new gift. So see you soon. Convoy with you. Convoy with you. See you next time.